Hey guys, the Eurobandit here once again, and today I'm gonna do a review of this beautiful quadraphonic and stereo receiver by Sanyo. Model name is DCX 3300 KB. This whole scale and the indicators are illuminated green. I don't know how much it costed back when it was new, and I don't know if it's a top of the line model. Doesn't really feel like it's one, but it could be like mid-end, like in between high and low end. But in the 70s we all know that even low-end electronics were extremely good and durable compared to today's garbage. This thing is a great receiver. It was a cheap thrift store find. I bought this from my local thrift store. I got it for around 20 euros, and when I saw this at the thrift store for that price, I said, well, I better get this thing, even if I like it or not. I just have to get it because I can sell this thing and make a pretty damn good profit. It's a very beautiful receiver. I really like it. I've never owned a Sanyo product before. It's well built, beautiful wood veneer. Now the box itself is made out of wood. It's very practical. It does have a few screws underneath it, because you can't remove the cover or the sides. This whole thing is one piece. You just unscrew those screws and this whole thing slides out of its wooden case. Now, of course, I'm not a fan of quadraphonic. You guys probably didn't know that. Some of you might know that I hate surround. Well, as much as I don't like the surround, I don't like the quad either. I mean, the concept is better than surround because you have 4 speakers around you and you're supposed to be in the middle of those 4 speakers. It's just like you would be in the middle of a concert. Well, that's alright, but I don't like it. But surround is a freaking failure. And even if you have a quad receiver and you have it set to quad mode, you know, so 4-channel mode, and if you play stereo music through it, it's not gonna be quad. I mean, it's just like surround. If you just play a stereo recording, it doesn't matter if it's on cassette, vinyl or whatever, as long as it's stereo, it's not gonna be compatible. So if you're gonna play a stereo song on the quadraphonic receiver and the thing is in quad mode, it's still gonna be stereo. I'm a stereo guy and nothing else. I don't like any other sound format than stereo. So I might like mono too, but nah, stereo is the thing for me. I am going to review this thing in stereo mode, of course. Just like I would review a surround receiver, I will still review it in stereo mode because fuck surround and all the other formats, the other mono and stereo. But anyway, now let's take a look at the functions, features, connections, inputs and outputs. Now these 4 pots are the volume control for all those 4 speakers. Doesn't matter if it's in stereo or quad mode. These 2 are for the front speakers, left and right, and these 2 are for the rear speakers, left and right. Now, of course, if you have it in stereo mode, you'll obviously have this turned off, and depending on how loud you want to play it, you crank these things up. But you want to crank both of these things up equally so that you'll get the same level on both speakers. And then there's a master volume control, which controls all the 4 speakers. But if you turn these things way too up, the problem is that there's gonna be a hum noise. If you turn the volume up from here, you know, you might want to turn the master volume up as well, because you won't turn it up all the way if you want to play normally, not loud. Here we have the headphone jack. Since it's a quad receiver, this is for the quad headphones, but I don't know how this thing works, front and rear. What the heck? That's a bit weird, but yeah, that's for quadraphonic headphones. Here's the power switch. Now here's a switch for the speakers. You can turn all the speakers on or off. That's pretty much like a muting function, although it's called differently. This is the tape monitor, source and play. Loudness, obviously, it's very important. Here's the microphone jack, and here's the microphone volume hand. So activate the microphone, you gotta pull this knob. So deactivate it, you just push it in, just like so. Here's the bass and the treble, and both of them are dual pots. And this is the master volume, obviously. This is the 2 to 4 channel selector. It obviously has another selector on the backside, which I'm gonna show you pretty soon. Now, basically these are the indicators in which mode you want it to have for the quadraphonic. Of course, if you're only gonna have it on stereo mode, you're just not gonna mess with this, because it's not gonna do anything. So these things, in a nutshell, they're pretty much like Dolby Cinema or something like that on today's crappy modern receivers. It's something similar to that, although it's a lot cooler, obviously. And here are the function selectors: aux, phono, FM stereo, or regular FM mono, AM, and obviously the tape monitor. And here's the tuning knob, which is bigger than all the other knobs, and it does have a bit of play in it. Probably can't see that on camera, but I don't know if that's because of the build quality or because of the age. It might be a bit worn out because probably the owner or owners of this receiver have changed the stations like 24/7 or something like that. But not really a fan of the tuner section. You will have to turn it like 1,000 times to get from the beginning to the end. That's not the case on Marantz, for instance. Well, of course, we can compare this to Marantz, but I'm just saying that there are other receivers that are way different. And here are the inputs. These are the antenna inputs. I'm not really a fan of these screw inputs. You have to use the screwdriver to tighten the damn cable once you have it connected. Same thing for the speakers as well. This is the aux input. This one's for the truth channel, and if you want to connect something quadraphonic such as a reel-to-reel, which is capable of playing quadraphonic recordings, you'll have to connect that to all these 4 RCA connectors. Here's the phono input, obviously, and here's the tape input, both for 2 and 4 channels, of course. And over here is a DIN input for the tape as well. Here's 2 fuses. Says 2-channel protector, left and right. And that's not bad. It's not bad to have protector. And it's obviously made in Japan, which is very important. And here are the connections for the speaker. Not a fan of them, but they work. The additional AM antenna. And this one right here is a selector if you want to have this receiver into stereo or quad mode. This is pretty much how the whole backside looks like. Let's turn this thing on, flip the switch, and this is how it looks like. Beautiful green color. Even the pointer is illuminated. It does have a light bulb on top of it. Let's say it's aux. There you go. As far as the sound goes, in stereo mode, I'm really satisfied with the sound. It's a great sounding receiver. It does have plenty of bass. However, the sound isn't perfect either, because I'm missing some mids from this thing. Otherwise, the sound's almost perfect. So, it doesn't even have a mid adjustment. It would have been great if it had, but oh well. I don't think it was a high-end model either. Now, since this is a rare model, I couldn't find a whole lot of information about it, and I do not have the instruction or the service manual, and can't find it on the internet either. But as far as I know, the whole thing weighs 11 kilograms, and the power is 2 times 40 watt per channel into 8 ohms, and that's in stereo mode. In quad mode, it does have 4 times 25 watts per channel into 8 ohms. Anyway, let's do the sound test. Loudness up. Bass on flat. Everything's on flat now. Loudness on. Bass on maximum. So overall it's a nice looking receiver, it's very well built, it has good wood quality, nice brushed aluminum faceplate. Really nice, it does have quite a few functions. If you're a quad fanatic, you have quite a bit of functions to play with. It sounds really great, however it's missing some mids. The highs are acceptable, they could have been a bit better. The bass is extremely great. So overall it's a great receiver. I'm not sure what the price is. I'm gonna find that out once I get this thing sold on the internet. That's pretty much it. Hope you like this video. If you did, why not? Thumbs up. Check out my other videos and why not subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and I'll see you next time.